What's going on, everyone? This is LP, writer and creator of the comic books Nyobi and Savage Sin, 10-year veteran of the game, and I am here to compare ericjuly's Rippaverse to Comicsgate from what I've just been seeing, from what I've been noticing. And it seems like this chicken war, this buck chicken war, to me, needs to really come to an end. And basically, CG Comicsgate just needs to understand that they have taken an L. They have been taking an L over and over and over again. And they will continue to take L's because the Rippaverse, ericjuly, is doing comics right. Now, let me put that on repeat. So all you fools out there, all you quote-unquote detractors, can hear it again. ericjuly is doing comics right. Now, as soon as I say that, right, here's what's going to happen. I guarantee you this is what's going to happen. I'm going to get people coming into the comments. You just want a pat on the head from ericjuly. You want to work for the Rippaverse. You want to use Ripperson. You want to do a crossover with Item. All the above is not true. Right? Here's the thing with me and Nyobi is that I've been doing this on my own for 11 years. I'll be doing this on my own for another 11 years, maybe more. We never asked for handouts from anyone. I never asked anything from ericjuly. I certainly never asked anything from Ethan Van Sciver. Okay, we know that Nyobi and Savage Sin can and does stand on their own. Are they doing $200,000 total sales like the graphic shows here? No. But have we been consistent? Yes. Do we have a stellar track record for delivery? Yes. Do I have a small but loyal fan base? Yes. Have we been published and circulated through Diamond when Diamond was a thing and in comic book shops? Yes. Are we part of the comic book history and zeitgeist? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I sound like Daniel Bryan in a WWE promo. But that is what it is. You know, the thing is, and you can really compare the Rippaverse with Comicsgate by four main categories: vision, execution, community, and resilience. Okay, those are your four categories. So the clearer vision is just, Eric's vision is, I want to make, the priority is to make a brand new universe, a brand new version, his version, right, of the MCU. He wants his own characters alive and thriving in his own world. Everything is connected. Everything matters. Everything counts. The problem with Comicsgate is they don't have that, okay? They rather fight culture war than actually build their cinematic universe or their comic book universe, if you will. They'd rather bitch about MCU, Star Wars is dead. MCU, Star Wars is dead, okay? And they're going to say, no, we hate the zeros. No, the problem is that they're pretty much all the same, right? Comicsgate bitches about mainstream comics, trying to tell you, the viewer, that Marvel sucks. DC sucks. Don't read Bitch Planet from Image Comics, okay? Don't read anything by Kelly Sue DeConnick. Don't read anything by Heather Antos. Don't read anything by Mags Visaggio, Mark Waid, Dan Slott, Donnie Cates, you name it. They've attacked and gone after them all, including yours truly. I must have made it to the list. But that's how they generate their attention. That's how they generate their audience, because it's hate-fueled marketing, okay? As Edwin Boyette would put it, it is conflict marketing. Let's get people mad. Let's get all those disgruntled incels all up in the grill so that they'll come buy our shitty frog books that will take 5 years to get. And that brings me to the next category, execution. ericjuly has superior execution. Okay? He gets his books out on time, in the hands of the people, okay? It is a financial success. He does have timely delivery, and his production values are high, and they outshine Comicsgate's inconsistent output and delays by tenfold. Comicsgate books are usually late, not every one of them, but most of them. I have backed 6 Indiegogo campaigns and I've only ever received 3. And all 6 of them were quote-unquote Comicsgate books that I wanted to see for myself. Well, 3 of them have never shown up and probably never will. That's not to say that doesn't happen over on Kickstarter. It does. Hoodie, I'm looking at you. Where's my book? But it is very few and far in between. Comicsgate honestly gives crowdfunding a bad name. Why? Because they don't deliver. Because when you go to Rainbow the Brute and you look at the comments section, it is a flood of people asking, where is my book or where is my refund? That is not a good way to do business. And it's also not a good way to do business by opening up several other campaigns so you can try and pay for the one that you didn't fulfill, that you're desperately trying to fulfill because you know you're under heat, right? Comic book people, comic book collectors, we're a nice bunch of people. We're very forgiving. But when you steal our money, when it takes years to deliver a product, when we're used to going to the comic book shop every week and walking out with a bundle of comics, now we're in this situation where we order online and I'm fucking 25 and I don't get my book till I'm 32. That is a problem. That's a problem that Eric July does not have. Okay? Community. Eric July has a strong focus on community. His fans are loyal. They're dedicated. They're into it. They show up for meet and greets. Okay, Eric fosters a less toxic environment than Comicsgate does. Because when you watch a Comicsgate stream, it's usually a bunch of 50-year-old men, bitter, angry, upset, and looking for their next target, right? I heard Cynic say this the other day on a Comicsgate church stream, that we need to have someone new to detract because that's what brings in the views. Doesn't that sound sad that you would have to go and say something like that? Yeah, we need to pick on someone. We need to bully someone because that's the only way we're going to get YouTube views. Well, if that's the only way you're going to get YouTube views, you might want to reconsider your entire YouTube strategy. Okay? Maybe you should talk positive about things instead of looking for your next person to rip down, instead of looking for your next quote unquote locale to rip down so that you can feel better about yourself at night and have 5 people watch your streams. Maybe actually do something productive like Eric July. Okay? Comicsgate is nothing but drama. When I watch an Eric July stream, I don't see him bullying women. I don't see him bitching about Dan Fraga. I don't see him bitching about me. I don't see him talking about Ethan, even though he probably should. Eric July does his best to keep his nose clean and stay out of the fucking mud. He doesn't want to roll with the pigs, and you know what? I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. Resilience, okay? Eric July, despite bans and criticism, the Rippaverse still thrives. While Comicsgate infighting and reputation hinders its growth, Comicsgate is not what it used to be. When Comicsgate first started, it was a movement of trying to convince through fan feedback, through fan criticism, that what the mainstream was doing was not working. It wasn't meant for everyone to start their own comics and try and beat the mainstream at their own game, because guess what? You're never going to do that. Even Eric July is not going to beat the mainstream at its own game. He's created a whole different thing, okay? Eric July could be just fine if he's never sold in shops at all. In fact, maybe even a couple of Comicsgaters could be fine and are by never selling in shops at all. But that's not playing in the mainstream. If you want to play in the mainstream, you got to be sold where mainstream products are sold, okay? But despite all that, Eric July has a chance of becoming mainstream more than any other comic book independently produced, maybe outside of Common America right now. Okay, Common America is going to become mainstream. That is obvious, right? They're going to have cartoons. There'll be a movie. All that shit's coming. They're doing a crossover with fucking Street Fighter. All right, Tim Lim's got the connections with Udon. He's got connections over in Japan. He is going to make Common America a thing. More like a Japanese, sort of hybrid thing, but a thing. ericjuly is going to make his red-blooded American thing a thing, Look at this, man. $200,000 in total sales. And if I click over here on the next one, we got over 4,000 books sold. Now, that's fucking great, especially considering where he gets to pocket all the money. So Comicsgate's just a mess, right? They don't have direction. They don't have leadership. They don't have a vision. They don't have a Bible in which that they follow. ericjuly has a Bible for the Rippaverse. He knows where he's going. He knows how to get there. He knows the players that he wants involved. He was smart to bring in guys like a Chuck Dixon, like a Mike Barron, like a Joe Bennett, like a Kanan White, even the Saska sisters, okay? Smart to bring them in. They have fame. They have connections. They've written for the big two. Well, I don't know about the big two, but they've written for Marvel, okay? They've done the Black Widow series. All that is good. So, again, I think Comicsgate is driven by ego. I think it's driven by hate. I think it's driven by harassing people over the internet. And it's become more about that. It's become more of who can we detract and make super chats off of, as opposed to let's really make an impact in the comic book industry. That's why I think ericjuly and the Rippaverse is far superior than anything that Comicsgate can do. I mean, Comicsgate's biggest hurdle really is its reputation, guys, as a toxic movement. And I've been around those circles. It's not like I'm some person on the progressive left looking in from the outside and going, yeah, they're just a bunch of Nazis. No, I swam in their circles. I've seen how they operate. I've seen things on screen, behind the scenes. I've seen it all. I know they're all pieces of shit, okay? They have documented incidences of harassment and unprofessional behavior. Okay, its creative output is often panned as juvenile, full of internal drama, fake drama, kayfabe drama, and drama that is literally a molehill that they turn into a mountain. It undermines all of their credibility. Delayed projects, unfulfilled promises, further erode their trust. Guys, ericjuly is superior in every single way. And no, again, I'm not looking for a handout from this guy at all. I'm just telling Comicsgate, you're being played. He's winning. Take your L's and move on. Leave this man alone, right? Because the more you attack this man, the more that you detract on this man, for a black man, just for making comic books and doing it, by the way, better than all of you. All of you, all of us. He's doing it better than all of us. That's why you hate him so much. That's why you need to tear him down, because you know he's a threat to your business. Guys, if you want to check out my business, because I move differently, I speak to hibbity jibbity, you can do that too by checking out a word from our sponsor. And this cute motherfucker, he's going to let you know how to get all the Nyobi books, all the Savage Sin books right from eBay, right meow. Stay tuned. All right, and just who is today's sponsor? Well, it was me, Austin. It's been me all along. And of course, what we're promoting here is the Nyobicomics eBay page. Link is in the description of the video, pinned at the top as always. Come on by and check out what we have to offer. It's Nyobi all the way from the original black and white stuff all the way up to Outbreak 3 with Outbreak 4 right around the corner. Thank you for supporting that comic on Kickstarter, by the way. And if you didn't know, I also have a second comic called Savage Sin, and we got Savage Sin #1 and #2 out with all kinds of great variants. You can see right there on the screen. We got one from Greg Bo Watson and R.B. White. We got everything that you need to catch up on the Nyobi Comics universe. Savage Sin, Nyobi, eBay. Come by right now.